Okay, I'm gonna try to explain what I mean with the EDA experiment. So let's say this is your Arduino. It's just, I'm putting a board here just so that it's a mock Arduino. This green here is the 0 volts, your ground. And in this case, I put the green wire there. The blue is the 5 volts. And you have 2 resistors in series. I know it's probably not easy to see, but this here, this resistor that's hooked up to the 5 volts, I'd like you to leave there. Let's say R1, and chances are you have a 1 mega ohm or a 10 mega ohm resistor. And this here, the orange, is where you are recording in the Arduino and hopefully making a file of the voltages that you're reading. So last week I told you guys, if you have Rx the same as R1, then this voltage here will be 2.5 volts if this is 5 and this is 0. And the catch is, not the catch, the idea is that now we're going to vary Rx. I'm assuming you tried many Rx's, and that at this point I can give you a resistor that you don't know, and by measuring this voltage you can tell me what the resistance is. If this is not true, then don't move forward, ask me questions, but I am thinking you guys did this. And now your next question is, how do I now test this with my finger instead of a resistor? So this is the Rx. We're going to take it out, and instead it's going to be a finger. So it can be, that's why I was talking about jumper wires. These are jumper wires. Let me get a smaller one. So typically Mrs. Valentine sells them like this. So there's a chance you guys got one of this. And I'm going to put the yellow here, but you could pick any other color. And then here are 2 wires, and I'm going to hold them like this, or put 2 fingers like this, or even 1 finger between the 2 and measure voltage. And in this case, I would like you to measure, let's say, 1,000 times in 1 second. So 1,000 sampling rates, so that we know this voltage here. So let's assume then you find it's 1 volt plus minus 0.3. So it's actually going to be something like this. So it's going to be a very noisy waveform that you're going to save to file and say, okay, during this time, I had my finger between 2 jumper wires. If you did get alligator clips or alligator cables, I'm going to show you 2 of them here. Let me yeah, so there's a red and a green, and they're both of different kinds. It's called alligator because when you press here, it opens a mouth, their mouth, or its mouth, like an alligator. So you'd clip on this one end, and here's where I'm going to put my finger. And then this green, for example, I'm going to put in ground here. I'm going to clip to ground, and then I'm going to make sure, well, hopefully that stays there and ground. And then the other end, I'm going to also put on my finger. So this is the idea, that this here would be the resistor. My finger between 2 fingers, red on one, green on the other one, and measure EDA that way. Let me know if this does not make sense, but hopefully it does.